Hey guys, so Vampire the Masquerade. Uh it's old. It's old. It came out like early 90s. I think it was like 91 or 92. So this game it's been around for a long time. Um Almost as old as I am. But yeah, so sequel. Paradox Interactive Deputy CEO cautions fans to temper expectations for Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Says we're making a spiritual successor, not an actual same blueprint type of game. Well, I'm sure that'll make gamers feel a whole lot better. That's exactly how these people are looking when they're spewing all this crap towards people. Like, would we lie? Um, in an ostensible attempt to help avoid any undue pain for either his studio or its fans, Paradox Interactive Deputy CEO Matthias Leja has warned fans that while their expectations for an upcoming Vampires the Masquerade Bloodline sequel may be sky high, they would do best to bring them way, way down. Yeah, we're off to a great start. Leisure offered this again with his bull crap every time, and it seems only to be with bounding into comics. So I don't know what's the problem with your site. Fix it. Offered his advice to the fan favorite Vampire Sims large fan base while speaking with with Rock Paper Shotgun's Edward Evans Thurwell, about the sequel's current state during Paradox's recent 2024 media day. Pressed by its host as to just how confident he was that Bloodlines 2, which is said to be published by Paradox Interactive and began life under the guide of developer Hardsuit Labs before being fully handed over to the Chinese room in 2021, would deliver a quality experience. Leja asserted that while he believed it would, he also wanted to make it clear that it was unlikely to meet fans' long building expectations. You're trying you're trying to sell your game. So telling them it's not going to meet their expectations and to they bring their standards down. But Hardsuit Labs, we agreed on a vision of what they are going to make, and they had a problem delivering on that. Said the deputy CEO. We were in agreement. We moved development to the Chinese room, and we said this is the vision, and this is what Hardsuit Studios have made. And of course, we gave them quite a lot of freedom to interpret that vision based on what Hardsuit Labs had made, and changes or change or review or remove whatever they didn't like. We have high trust in the Chinese room. China. Well, given what they've done, he told Evans Thurwell, we've announced again a delay into the first half of next year. I would stand by that. I'm pretty confident that it's going to work. I've seen the game now. The Chinese room is really invested in it. They're taking a lot of initiatives. They have some things that Hardsuit did. They're changing a lot of things, and they're making their own game. Then it's but it's still in the vision that we had. So it's going to be an action RPG in the world of darkness. If you've seen the Chinese Room's previous games, Still Wakes, The Deep, they know how to do a story-driven action game with good voice acting, all of that. Which is basically what we're looking for in this game. I hope they feel that we will be able to deliver a game that puts you in the world of darkness. Noted the Paradox Interactive exec was careful to describe the game not as a Bloodline sequel, but as a game that puts you in the world of darkness because, in his words, it's about setting the right expectations. But if people are buying a game, Vampire, Masquerade, Bloodlines, they expect that. That's what they expect. You don't title it one thing and then give them something that completely different. The first Bloodlines game is what it is, and people who've been recent will see that it's a game from 2004, and it's now patched so it works. But there's also a lot of ideas about what that game was that are more not to offend anyone mythical. I like the first game a lot as well, but I want to clarify that this game is so people have a clear understanding of what they're buying, so they don't come in with weird expectations because we don't want that. We want them to understand that this is an action RPG with a storyline that is more fixed. It's not the open sim it maybe shouldn't be compared to. Again, we want people to understand what they're getting into. It's just reassuring, isn't it? It's about setting the right expectation, he said. The first Bloodlines game is what it is, and people who've been played it recently will see that the game is from 2004. There's now patched, blah blah blah. Just read that. Did they really use that twice? Yeah. Wait. It's just no. It's just using the same quote. Asked by his host as to which aspects of the original game he believed fans fans had put on a pedestal, rather than criticize any particular part of the Bloodline experience, Leisure instead vaguely argued, "I actually played Bloodlines 1 quite recently, and it's a good game, but it's also an old game. And there are many things in that would not fly today." Well, I think that kind of lets us know things that are going to happen that would not fly today. So, modern audience, thank you for confirming that. I understand why people were super psyched by it in 2004 because it had a lot of cool elements, and the feeling of being a vampire is really strong regardless of the features. But I think people, they remember their feeling about it, and if they replayed it, I think they would see it as competently good game by 2004 standards. Now that it's patched. His time with the outlet coming to a close. He has only asserted, but mainly we want to clarify that we are making a spiritual successor, not an actual same blueprint type of game, so people don't get disappointed and feel cheated. We really don't want that, he reiterated. We do expect it to recover its investment, but also saying that it has changed studios, been in production a long time. My expectation is that we will release a good game. 2025 is when it's supposed to release. So sometime next year. He just buried that low expectations bar 6 feet under. A long way of saying they made it for modern audiences. Yeah, that's what it sounded like. What an odd thing to say. If it's not going to use the same formula as the first one, why make it a sequel? Just call it something different. Yeah. 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 But I mean, again, it's a beloved series, you know. God, seriously, bounding into comics, fix your shit. You know, it started as a tabletop game, early 90s, and then it gets the first game, and people are like, "Oh my god, this is amazing." Um, it's got a following behind it, so you know, it's a good game. But yeah, if they're like, "Oh well, it's a sequel, but it's not going to be what you expect." It's going to be this kind of game instead of what you're used to. Then just name it something else. You know, just don't call it Bloodlines 2. To call it something else. Don't even have the you know, just because it takes place in the world of darkness doesn't mean anything. I mean, you could have other stories taking place in the world of darkness that don't involve Vampire the Masquerade. Um so it's a little ridiculous that they're like, oh yeah, it's gonna change. It's gonna be different. We just want to lower your expectations and make it to where your expectations are up here. We want them around here. Uh, that's kind of where we want things for you guys. So it's almost like they're warning us, like, hey, we know it's going to be hot garbage. So just don't have too many high hopes. Which again, there are so many things that this person was saying that they're like, what an odd thing to say. So it yeah, it went from tabletop game to, you know, mid video game. Now it's got a sequel coming out, and for you know, and yet they decided to tell people not to really have any expectations, to lower them. That's really gonna get people hyped for the game, I think. Who knows? They may say lower your expectations and don't expect too much, and it might blow our balls off. We might, oh my god, this is the best game in the world. But we know how modern gaming is, so anyway, let me know what you guys think about the franchise. If you played the original like tabletop game back in like what I could say it was like 91, 92 or something it came out. If you played the game, and all that great stuff. But yeah, that's gonna do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye guys.